This
only.
conference will now
But
be recorded.
please try to differentiate. Like whenever you're talking about the TRs or user ID related or any print parameter something, then those are related to the work what we do in real time as a general executions. But when it's come to subject, yeah, we are talking about subject only, like master records, transactions, all those things. Better I have to take 1909 version access, because in 2020 version we are getting hell lot of issues. Hmm. What is our company code?
One plus.
One
Right.
plus, right? So go to where now we are creating GL master record at company code segment. Okay, same. The basic configurations we have done: menu, accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry. Sorry, not document entry. Master records, GL accounts, individual processing, and GL account in company code. Okay, one plus. So when I press OK or create, then automatically company currency will come here automatically, because as I said earlier, the currency whatever I'm maintaining at company code level will be the default currency for master data and the transactions creating with that reference. So now I'm creating a GL account with a company code reference. So the currency will be INR will be my default currency. So the INR is now GL account currency also. Okay, I can change it to US dollar. I can change the GL account currency also. Okay, we have that provision for foreign currency transactions. Remembering foreign currency transactions, we create USD dollar. Are you okay? So first, as a basic understand, we go with INR. So even while doing a practice, please don't try to change the currency. Keep it your company code currency only. Okay, we have dedicated topics for foreign currency transactions. There we will discuss what happens if we change the currency in master record. In GL master record again. So you please don't try to change. Now here we can find one checkbox called balances in local currency. This checkbox we select for the balance sheet accounts to verify your balance sheet reports in local currency. Local currency means in company code currency only. And one more point what we have to remember is, if you are not aware of any information in the SAP system, then you can choose any field and press F1 on that. If you press F1, we will get SAP standard documentation, and you can read this one for your understanding purpose. So indicate the balances are updated only in local currency when user posts items in this account. Okay, and what is the purpose of this, and for what type of GL accounts we select balances in local currency is also clearly mentioned here. Okay, I always suggest go through this standard SAP notes. Okay, so reading this type of notes will help you for self-exploring, because whatever we are discussing in our subject, in our classes, is only a path for understanding SAP, not the entire SAP we cannot teach here. Okay, so from business to business, the changes will differ, requirements will differ. So we should acquire the ability of reading and understanding the standard SAP, what they are telling. Are you clear? Any questions about that?
Clear, Hari.
Clear, Hari.
Okay. No defense, right? So why you are telling like this and all this kind of no questions? Do you have any questions? Please ask me now itself.
No hurry. We know that SAP is ocean.
Thank you. So you please go through these documents, and here clearly mentioned we set this indicator for cash accounts, cash clearing, cash discount clearing accounts, JRR clearing accounts, and it cannot be set for reconciliation accounts like customers, vendors, and assets. So only balance in local currency cannot be selected for reconciliation accounts, and it is a validation point also. When we get this validation terminology, like when we are uploading data from non-SAP to SAP system, we have to remember all these validity points. So as of now, we are creating GL records using some T codes, but we'll upload the data. Means after this GL master concept, I'll explain that also. Sir, can you please give me sharing, like screen sharing option? My laptop got So only balance is local currency. We select for this type of accounts like so where we stopped. I mean, I missed. For reconciliation accounts, we don't select. And yeah, while uploading the data from non-SAP to SAP system master data, we have some validity points to check to whether the data has been uploaded or not. In that context, we have few checkpoints to verify. So this is one of the thing. Balance in local currency is selected only for this type of accounts like cash discount clearing, GRR clearing accounts, or from bank accounts like this. And we never select this checkbox balance in local currency for open items and for foreign currency transactions and one more is reconciliation accounts. For these three G types of GL accounts, we never select this checkbox. Okay. So this bank account is my local bank account. So I'm selecting this balances in local currency. Next, exchange rate difference key and valuation group are used for analyzing foreign currency exchange loss or a gain foreign currency exchange loss or gain for P&L accounts. Okay. Okay. So please make a note of this. Exchange rate differences key and valuation group are assigned for foreign currency exchange loss or gain for P&L accounts. So here you can see you could have valuation differences posted to the same P&L accounts for all the balance sheet accounts or different accounts based on currencies. So to post this for P&L accounts, we maintain this exchange rate difference keys. Okay. Now tax category. If the GL account is if the GL account is comes under tax consideration. It can be an output tax or input tax. We'll maintain this tax category. Okay. So mostly we maintain all types tax allowed, and though the GL account comes under tax consideration, and if we want to exempt from tax while posting an accounting entry, then we select this one. Posting without a tax allowed. There will be some business transactions where the GL account comes under taxation, tax consideration, but still we execute the transaction without a tax, okay, based on the requirement. So in that scenario, we will select this checkbox. Means the GL account is under tax consideration, but still we are posting the tax transaction without a tax postings, maybe a free goods or maybe the good is tax exemption. So in that scenarios, we have to allow the transaction. So we select this posting without tax allowed is mandatory. Okay. Since it's a bank account, I'm not selecting these taxes. And for reconciliation accounts like vendor, customer, assets, we maintain this what reconciliation type it is, so that if you are maintaining the GL account as a reconciliation account, then for sure we have to maintain vendor master record for the GL account, and we need to execute the transaction So if the GL account is a reconciliation account, we cannot post directly to the GL. That means I cannot post directly to this GL account transaction. For sure, we have to create a relevant master data. It can be a vendor, customer, or a asset. Right? Next one, alternative account number. So if your reporting structure comes under country specific reporting structure, then we'll create country specific chart of accounts, and the GL account from country specific chart of accounts is maintained as a alternative account number. Suppose my in country specific chart of accounts, my alternative account number is 12345. Then I maintain this 12345, and whatever the transactions posted to this bank account 100 that will be updated to this GL account without posting the entries. Remember that we never post transactions to alternative account numbers manually. Manually, we never post any transactions to this alternative account numbers. Okay, that will get updated through some transportation process. Alternative account number is a field in the company code area, is a freely definable. Okay, and the account number can be a legacy system. Legacy system means a non-SAP system GL account, or the number can be from country specific chart of accounts. If your corporate group uses the standard chart of accounts, standard chart of accounts means operational chart of accounts. If you are using, then we assign country specific chart of accounts for for reporting purpose. Okay, the alternative account number is only issued in the financial statements, means in balance sheet or any P&L account statements. There will use this alternative account number, and it is relevant items in the financial versions. So in the beginning session, I think I explained that like P&L accounts and the balance sheet, all these are called as financial statement versions in SAP. We call as FSVs. Okay, so we are supposed to configure those FSVs also. Okay, in FSVs we use this alternative account numbers. Okay, but make a note that we never post transactions directly to this alternative account numbers. Okay, now if the GL account is a legacy system number, means non-SAP system number, then we have to select this checkbox account managed in external system. Okay, but mostly we don't assign legacy system in real-time environment. If the GL account comes under country-specific chart of accounts, then we maintain country-specific chart of accounts GL account number. Okay, tolerance group we don't maintain at GL master record level. Tolerance group is a control function for posting the transactions, which is a mandatory step, so that error message we can face while posting an accounting entry. There we can discuss in detail about the tolerance groups. But for glance, make a note, like a tolerance group is a control function for allowing the transaction with a certain amount limit, with a certain amount limit. That means if I want to control Hari to post the transactions for 100 rupees, I can control through tolerance groups. Next, open item management. If the GL account is a liability account,
Hari,
like, yeah,
Hari, one doubt.
yes,
Tolerance is a limit of transaction, right?
sorry,
Group means
hmm,
it's a limit of transaction, right? I mean, based on our business transaction, if 1,000 is there, that is fixed.
mhm. I didn't get you.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు టాలరెన్స్ అనేది ఒక లిమిట్ వరకు ఉంటుంది. సో 1000 ఉందంటే దాని
లిమిట్
వరకే
దాంట్లో మెయింటైన్ చేస్తాం,
చేయగలుగుతాం
దాంట్లో
ట్రాన్సాక్షన్.
మెయింటైన్ చేస్తాం, యా యా, దాంట్లో మెయింటైన్ చేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు
1000
మధుసూదన్ ని ఐ వాంట్ టు అలో
ఓకే.
మధుసూదన్ టు పోస్ట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ 1000 రూపీస్. I can restrict
హ్మ్.
Madhu by using a tolerance group. అది ఎలా అసైన్
ఓకే.
చేస్తామనేది నేను ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ చెప్తా. హౌ వీఆర్ అసైనింగ్ అండ్ హౌ వీ మెయింటైన్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్, దట్ ఐ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ వైల్ పోస్టింగ్ ద ఎంట్రీస్. ఓకే,
ఓకే. ఓకే.
just as I
థాంక్ యూ.
gave a statement, practically
ఓకే.
we'll execute while executing the entries. It is mandatory
ఓకే.
step which I haven't explained till now. I'll explain you
ఓకే.
while posting the
యాహ్!
entries.
యాహ్!
Okay,
షూర్.
definitely we'll get error message, and while resolving that one, we'll understand in detail.
ఓకే.
Hmm. This is mandatory again. Remember, tolerance groups are mandatory to post the transactions. And still, if you need more information, you can write one more note that in FI level, we have three tolerance groups. One is employee tolerance, GL tolerance, customer vendor tolerance. Okay. So while posting entries, we need to
ఓకే.
maintain employee tolerance. While clearing GL accounts, we need GL account tolerances. To post a customer vendor tolerance transactions, we need customer vendor tolerances. Okay,
ఓకే.
these three are
యాహ్!
mandatory to post the entries. Similarly, we have tolerance group in MM also.
ఓకే.
Okay, so there we will discuss about these
ఓకే.
things. Now, coming to the open item management. If the GL account is a liability account like a bank account, outstanding expenses accounts, like this, if there is any liability transactions, we maintain open item management. Okay, so since the bank account is not an open item management for us, so we'll see this later. Like we have a dedicated topic about this open item management, there we will discuss. Next one, clearing specific to ledger groups. So this is the new added checkbox from in S/4HANA. Okay, earlier we don't have this one, clearing specific to ledger group. While executing any clearing transactions, so we can post to a specific ledger groups in a local currency. Then we maintain this checkbox. So you can see here, you can use clearing specific to ledger groups if you perform parallel accounting user ledger approach. Ledgers means like whenever we post any journal entries, we'll transfer to the ledgers, right? In journal cycle, do you remember that process? Is it new for is it new for people? If you see the journal cycle or accounting cycle, so once you post any accounting entry, we'll transfer those values to journal entry, to ledgers. That is a standard. Okay, it is not created, that is a standard process. We can see here on top, this one. So we notice a business transaction that will be maintained as an entry. So like this, purchase account data to cash account. Similarly, purchase account data to bank account. These are journal entries. After posting these journal entries, we'll transfer the values to ledgers. That means for every account, we maintain a page, and There we maintain the debits and the credits, means inputs and outputs for the transaction. For example, if you take a cash account, so by cash we have done purchases, by cash we have received sales. So for every account there will be a debit and a credit. Okay, so this is a ledger. So people who are coming from non-account background, you please make a example of this. So once we post a journal entry, for every account we maintain ledgers. That is a process in accounting cycle. Okay, we have a debit and a credit. So two purchases and buy sales, so that your every account should tally the with the balance. Okay, so like this we'll be posting to the ledgers. Now coming to SAP, so okay, we post to cash account. So this is the ledgers we are posting in the system. So now coming to SAP system, these ledger postings will happen automatically. So there will be a standard ledger called 0L. There will be a standard ledger in SAP called 0L. So whenever we post transactions, that will get updated in the 0L automatically. So that is a standard process and we cannot change that one. Now coming to the general topic here, coming to the general topic of parallel accounting, means, so we are posting the transaction ledgers and we are submitting our reporting structure according to the ledgers. So that up to that it is fine. Now how to submit your accounting entries or statements, so that will be defined by accounting principles. So every country will be having their own accounting principles. Like we have IAS. Similarly, if you go to US, they'll follow GAAP. Generally, generally accepted accounting practice, or generally accepted accounting practice principles, principles only. Similarly for IFRS also. If you go to European countries, mostly they follow IFRS. That means every country will follow some accounting standards or accounting principles. So our reporting should be so, and in SAP 0L is standard for all company codes. But now assume that I have a business in US, UK and India, and all these three countries are following seven different accounting principles. Now how I need to separate these transactions, since I am posting to a standard ledger? It is difficult. So SAP came with a concept called non-leading ledgers. SAP came with a concept called non-leading ledgers. So though the transactions have been posting to the standard ledger, you can transfer these accounting entries, you can transfer these accounting entries to one second, కింద పడింది, to non-leading ledgers, and we can prepare our own accounting structures. We can prepare our own accounting principles. Okay, so that is called a parallel accounting. That's why whenever I'm posting any transactions or clearing transactions, by posting the entries to the standard ledger, system will also post to the s- specific ledger or a country specific country specific ledgers or non-leading ledgers. Okay, are you clear with this? Do you have any questions about these ledgers? Please let me know.
Hari, I have a doubt on this actually. Like, see now in the SAP prospectus, when is the SAP will create the country-specific general ledgers automatically, or we need to create?
Yeah, country specific ledgers we have to create. So now whenever we are talking about ledgers, okay, we'll be having one leading ledger, one standard ledger. So there is no any change. That is 0L. Okay, so while posting transactions, while posting entries, By default, entries will get updated. By default, changes will update. By default, transactions will get updated. Will update. There is no any change. You cannot create or you cannot delete this standard ledger. Okay, that is the standard one. And we have only one standard ledger. 0L is called as leading ledger. Only one leading ledger is available. One leading ledger will be there. One leading ledger. Up to this, it is clear, right? Only one will be available, and whenever you post transactions, that will get updated by default in that leading ledger. Up to that, it is clear, right? Do you have any questions?
No hurry.
So now,
Some
let me
doubt
click
is
for
alternative ledger you have to tell now. Any practical exam with regarding alternative
that is what the alternative is non-leading ledgers.
non?
Leading ledgers. So now for country, for specific reporting purpose, for country specific reporting, for country specific reporting, we use non-leading ledgers. Okay, for every company code, we can assign one non-leading ledgers. You can assign. So I forgot to share this link. Sorry. Anirudh. So for country, for every company code, we assign one non-leading ledger. Okay, based on the requirement. Based on the requirement. So what is that requirement? Since the company is following an accounting principle. A company following accounting principle for reporting. So example, accounting principle means here you can take an example of GAAP or IFRS. IFRS or GAAP. Okay, it is not mandatory, it is optional. Non-leading ledgers assignment is optional again. Okay, now when we are posting transactions, in both leading and non-leading ledgers, it is called as parallel accounting. It is called as parallel accounting. So this parallel accounting process we are also following for our clearing transaction, that is clearing specific to ledger groups. So in this context, what we are doing, so I am clearing transactions in a specific ledger in only. Okay, not all in the ledgers. So if I want to clear any transaction in a specific ledger, then I'll select this checkbox. Are you clear now?
Hari, can I ask one doubt here?
Yes, yes.
Uh, when we are creating the ledgers, normal ledgers, it is at a
Uh,
company level, right? For example, if I take an example, Tata Steel, we are having the Tata Steel locations, US and India.
hmm.
So we are creating the ledger at company level at the
That is
US code.
default. That is default.
At Tata Steel level, or at the we are creating one more company codes in the US and India. Two more company codes will be there, right? So
Hmm.
whatever the edges we are creating now is at the Tata Steel level, or we are creating at the US or India level.
See, here we have a ledgers. 0L is a leading ledger. See,
Hmm.
okay. We can create one more non-leading ledger for US as per
Okay.
your question. So once you create a non-leading ledger, we go to a company code settings and we add a company code here. Okay. And then we assign which accounting principle you are following.
Okay.
We have
But
to
as
assign like
per,
this.
but we are creating only non-leading ledger. Only one ledger we are creating as of now, right? We
Yes,
cannot
requirement.
create one
We
more
can
ledger.
create more than one non-leading ledgers.
So we can
There is no
create.
any, yeah, there is no any restricted to create only one ledger. So you can create multiple non-leading ledgers based on your accounting principle. We can create. I'm not telling you that we cannot, but depends on requirement. We'll create.
Okay. Now I clear.
Okay. So now we can see this C1. We can see this C100 in both leading ledger and non-leading ledger also. See, C1 is a non-leading ledger for US. Similarly, I can also see this C100 in leading ledger also. Here you no need to configure. By default, it will get updated. Okay. By default, once you configure company code in the system, it will get updated. Okay. So 0L is the leading ledger, and for that leading ledger, this settings will update it. And so which accounting principle you are following for leading ledgers also you can assign. Sorry, IAS. You can assign. That means for standard ledgers I am following IAS. For non-leading ledgers, country specific. Company codes are country specific. If you remember, you are creating your company code country wise. So if you are following for US, if you are following gap, you can assign gap. Okay. Are you clear now? Nagendra, are you clear? Any questions?
No hurry. I'm clear now. Thank you.
Hmm. So leading ledger is a standard and we are extending. So similarly, now I'm for C100, I want to post transactions only in non-leading ledger. Now my requirement is I want to post or clear a transaction only in C1 ledger, not in 0L. In that specific requirement, we select this checkbox. Okay. And if you observe here, we have an option for parallel accounting. Parallel accounting means posting transactions in non-leading ledgers and leading ledgers parallelly. Okay, that means one entry is if you post one entry, that entry will be maintained in both leading ledger by default and also it will get updated in the non-leading ledgers. You have to maintain this parallel accounting. So if you are clear with the ledger concept in S4 HANA, I'll explain you one more extension word here. In S4 HANA, along with the leading ledger and non-leading ledgers, SAP has introduced in S4 HANA, okay, SAP has introduced extension ledgers. SAP has introduced extension ledgers. Okay, what happened to this? Oh, completely deleted. Okay, fine, leave it. Hey, what I pressed? Okay, save it. Please make a note. Some keys are pressing up. Why it is not opening? Okay, open. Oh, Office access key Alt I plus continue typing menu key sequence of interaction. Press escape to cancel. Eh, what is happening here? What I did? Normal. Is there any Excel experts here? Right, got it. In S4 HANA, SAP introduced extension ledgers. Okay, up to 1909 version, we have a different. Now we have only two. So, okay, let me give 1909 version also. Up to 1909 version, we had cash journal, cash voucher, I think. Cash journal, make it a cash journal. C, prediction. P, and simulation. We had these many ledgers. But coming to 2020 version, we have only two, prediction and simulation. That we can see in fins underscore ledger table only, in this transaction only. This is a new transaction code as well. So if you understand, it is very beautiful. If people make some mess up, then you cannot correct it also here in this transaction. So here you can find extension ledgers, a prediction and simulation ledgers. Okay, here you can find standard ledger, can be a leading ledger and a non-leading ledgers, extension ledgers, which are created underlying ledger. By default, it has to be under one ledger, means whatever the transactions you are posting in the leading ledger, so those transactions we can from that transactions we can see the next entry, which has to be how it is get posted with a temporary document number, or you can predict your revenues. Okay, we can predict our revenues. So we'll practically execute this two ledgers. So this prediction ledger will update in FISD integration. We can see in FISD integration, and a simulation ledger we can see in foreign currency valuation. We can see in foreign currency valuation. Okay, now this cash journal is placed in GL master record. This cash journal has been placed in GL master record. There we will see that point. I think I have already displayed you, but you just verify in chart of account segment. Here we can see cash accounts. So in ledger level, they removed a cash account, and in GL account type, it has placed. In 1909 version, we don't have this cash account type. Okay, from 2020 version, it came here. So if you are creating your GL account as a cash account, then for sure we have to maintain the sub ledger type. Okay, as we are already using this GL account here in company code segment, system not allowing us to modify this one. Okay, fine, we'll see later. Let us complete this one. So sort key, whenever you have after posting your transactions, you have to extract a report for every GL account. Now on what basis you can extract report? Like there will be some search term or some kind. So then we use this sort key. Okay, sort key, where is that? F1. Okay. Somewhere help notes is open. Sort key. Sort key is a system user to sort the sequence for display the line items. Means whatever the transaction you have posted, you can see those transactions based on this sort key. Means sorting out the transactions. How we are sorting out? Based on a document number, based on the document date or document posting date, or it can be some other value, whatever you are posting in the transaction. So based on that, you can extract your reports. Okay. So that is for this purpose we have sort key. Next, authorization group and clerk abbreviation. So authorization group means I can authorize a particular set of people to execute this transaction and to execute this to this execute the transactions to this GL account. Means I can take a few set of people like 1, 2, 3, 4, and only these 4 people can access this GL account. Like this, I can control in the system. This is called authorization group. Our group allowed extend authorization to protect the particular object. The authorization groups are freely definable. Groups usually occur this together for within an activity to perform activity, transaction activity by a particular set of people. Then I can maintain an authorization group and I can assign. So this is JV joint venture. Mostly we are using in this oil and gas companies, joint venture concept from oil and gas companies only. So I'm not much aware of that concept. So if I'm familiar, I can explain in that. Okay. But now for FI point of view, it is not required. Coming to this create bank interest tab field status group. So from the field status variant, whatever the groups we have, accordingly we can assign. For example, this is a bank account, we have a GL account group G005. So that whatever the fields I maintain here as a required optional entries, so those fields will trigger while posting a transaction. Okay, and if you want to post the transactions automatically without any manual interference, then we select this post automatically. So once you select this post automatically, you cannot post transactions manually. Okay, supplement auto posting and ready for reconciliation checkbox inputs are used in accounts payable module. There for intercompany transactions we understand these checkboxes. So one is for payments. So while executing APP, there we can learn about the supplement auto posting, and for intercompany transactions, we can learn this recon account ready for input. Okay, next one. If you are using cash management and if you want to see the cash flows transactions, there we maintain the planning level. And this checkbox is mandatory for bank accounts if you are executing any payment medium like a check printing or payment file generations. So that can be happen for bank accounts if you are selecting this checkbox. If you fail this checkbox to select, then system cannot print the checks for the payments executed to the vendor, or system cannot generate a payment file for online transactions. And if the GL account comes under loan and you are calculating any interest for that GL account, then we can assign interest indicator and the percentage of calculation of interest that will be maintained, and the last date of execution means on which interval basis you are executing this interest postings for the GL accounts, that we can maintain here. But now we are in mostly in production companies, we are not using this interest calculation. I think till now I haven't done the configuration or executed interest calculations in my career for my clients. Never I did this one. Okay, that means like based on the business requirements, we are maintaining this interest calculation. But in the material what I have provided, so there is a complete configuring steps available for interest calculation. So if you are interested, yes, you can execute it. You can check the transactions, but now in my sessions I'm not going to explain that one, because I feel that since it is not in use, no one is asking in interviews, it's just wasting of our time. Like this we can take as a choice. Not all the transactions, but interest calculation we can take as a choice. Fine. Now coming to the information, like whatever the transaction, whatever the configuration you did in your GL master data, so that will be recorded here and it will show as the information. Now we are extending this GL account from chart of accounts, right? When I save, then system will update who created and when it has created in the company code segment will get updated. Similarly, if you have done any changes in the GL master record, so that changes will be recorded in change document, which we have verified in the previous class. So now coming to the block, now I can block this GL account only in this company code 1 plus for postings. Remember, we have a block for postings in two segments, one in chart of account segment, one in company code segment. Yes.
Hari, the intercompany reconciliation, can I explain again? Because I have facing a lot of problem of in practical.
I didn't. Okay. What is this? You tell me, please, where you want.
Uh, inter-unit. Back input. You have come on keyword transaction.
One sec. Somewhere I opened this GL account. Okay. Okay, come back. Let me come out of this. Yes, tell me. Reconciliation ready for input. No, we are in chart of account segment. Sorry. Yeah, please tell me.
Rico input. How this account?
Actually, this
Just I have raised
yeah,
question.
let me tell. Actually, this GL account
In
is
my
used for.
company, company code is 1100, and this company code come under almost 10 business areas. Can I get report one click for the which item is open? Yeah. What is the difference of inter unit? Can you use this field?
No. See, if the GL account is a account type for a reconciliation account vendor. Okay. Okay. And now one in master record we can assign only one GL account. Remember, when we are creating any vendor or a customer account, as a reconciliation we can assign only one GL account. But now the vendor supplying material, the same vendor giving services for that material. Okay, vendor supplying material. So I can execute a purchase transaction and post into this GL account. Assume this one. Now the same vendor is also providing services, but I cannot record on the vendor account. I want to post to a separate GL account. So in that scenario, we select ready for reconciliation for input. So that while creating invoice, system will allow you to change the GL account, to change the reconciliation GL account. Okay. Vendor, one vendor, two different services. So for two different separate services, I want to post for different GL accounts. Okay. So while posting, it is okay. But while creating invoice, system will allow us to change the GL account. Okay. That is reconciliation ready for input for recon accounts. Not completely for intercompany accounts. For reconciliation transactions related to your vendor in AP module, we can do this one. Okay,
No any
intercompany
option for the.
Tell me, no any options for? No.
Yes, continue, please.
I'm done. You please tell me.
no any option for the intercompany controlling the reconciliation, or we have taken one click report for the differences of intercompany in GL code while creating a GL code?
So while creating GL accounts, so you want what type of a control?
I have require in one single company code, and under company code having a 10 business area, I have require intercompany in business area reconciliation in one click. Any option at the time of creating
That
GL code?
no. While creating GL accounts, we don't have. We have to maintain a separate cards, and for every business area wise, we can assign GL accounts. I know even while posting transactions, you can assign your business area. Okay, we'll just please make a documentation of your requirement. Then we can see. I'll tell you. So right now,
Okay.
I was not able to understand your requirement. Just prepare a small document for that, like what you are expecting. Accordingly, we'll try to see in the system. We'll
Where
try.
we have to post? Where we have to post my document to you?
Yeah, just prepare one small document and share it with me.
Where we have to share?
I'll give my number after the session, or I'll share my number. You can take my number from Krishna.
Krishna. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, since it's going on recording, so I cannot read my number. I'll later I can give. So with this, of course, we have created a GL account. So when I go to centrally, we can see the GL account in both company code segment and chart of account segment. See, in chart of account segment, we can see GL account number, account group, and text. Similarly, if you go to control data, account control and company code, that means in which currency it has to be posted, whether it's a balance is in local currency for balance sheet accounts, and if it's a liability account or not, that is controlled at company code level. And account control for document creation. While creating a document, which fields are mandatory, whether it's automatic posting or manual posting, and to print the payment medium or not, that will be controlled from create bank interest tab at company code level. So remember this screens also. Okay, if people like me, if you are doing interview, if you face that interview, definitely I'll ask screens also. So if you find any person like me, definitely you'll face this type of questions. What are the screens in GL master records? Or sometimes I ask tab wise. What happens about if I don't maintain sort key in the transaction? How where I can configure the sort key? Like this type of questions I'll be asking. So go to the screen, remember each and every field, and understand whatever I have explained. Okay, so while giving explanation also, I have explained about each and every field, most of the fields which we are using in our transactions. So please prepare accordingly. Okay, I can
Hari,
say
actually,
50% of interviewers will ask about this GL master card. Yeah, please tell me.
Mari, actually, if you in your controlling data, accounting types, I'm seeing only 3 types actually. There is a 5 types, right? Normally, in
Well,
a controlling data, accounting type.
remember, GL account types are different. Okay, and reconciliation. See here only reconciliation. So reconciliation, customer, vendor, and assets. Next GL account. Anyhow, if you are not maintaining this one, your GL account is account type yes comes under here. And if you are maintaining the GL account for material purpose, no need to maintain this account type. So 5 account types are there tallied, right?
I'm seeing only
Material,
4, right?
GL accounts, GL accounts, and material accounts. You can create from here. And if you want to create the GL accounts for reconciliation purpose, then 1, 2, 3. Earlier 2 and now 3. 5 account types. Updated?
Okay, okay. Got it. Yeah.
Fine. Any questions? So tomorrow we'll be discussing about the configuration settings for document posting. So we have done organizations configuration settings, GL master data configuration settings. Tomorrow we'll be understanding configuration settings for document a posting. So once we done this configuration setting, system will allow you to proceed a transaction. Okay. See you all. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, Hari.
Bye, Hari. Thank you.
Have a nice day all.
Bye.
Have a nice day. All.